we gonna do this? What the heck is this thing? Why can't I get this thing that it's just no. Are we on? Oh, we're on. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. I got this new phone. Oh man, I got this new phone. I don't even know if this thing is working. No, I don't want, no. The mic isn't internal, no. All right. Leslie Plazz, Zazoo Plazz, doing an indoor report today. I hope this comes out. I'm trying to get me and Zazoo in the same frame here, and sitting on the floor. Let's see, maybe if I go this way, right? Is that, okay, there we go. Is that better? Gonna swivel a little bit this way. I hope I get Zazoo in here. Okay. Indoor Zazoo report today. I gotta get it done. And then I have to go make quiche. I'm sitting on the floor here, sitting on my little yoga, I've got this, well, I can't show you. I got this like green little, this used to be on my desk chair, and now I'm sitting on, it's like a yoga thing. So you balance on it and it works your abs. So I'm working out. See, this is Gen X, folks. I'm working out. We multitask, especially we women. Okay. I'm plugging my book, which is going to be 1 year old this week. Zazoo Plazz is turning 1, even though I launched it in 2020. But I launched it on Leap Day, February 29th. So it's coming up. So maybe 4 years, give or take. But technically, I released my book a year ago. She's only a year. See, she's still a baby. This is the poster that I had made for my book launch. I'm gonna try to get it in here, but there's this like little bubble. I can't figure out how to get it out of the bubble. So this is humor, folks. So I'm just gonna leave this right here. But I want to say a few words in honor of Zazoo, because she's awesome. She is my alter ego, Zazoo being my childhood nickname, Plazz being a variation of my married name, Plazzic. So she served me well. She's been my buddy throughout all this time. And what a 4 years it's been, or what a 1 year it's been for her. I'm all about alternate, time. And I'm all around about fool around and find out. So, in honor of that, I went outside. I said, okay, so I got up at 6 p.m. to do my, because I'm on the nighttime shift this week. And I couldn't get the darn phone to work. I went outside twice. The phone just refused to work. It just froze, literally froze. And the Virgo full moon is out. And we're, the first Gen Xers, we're Pluto and Virgo generation, right? So, okay, so it's influencing us generationally, I guess. Virgo is all about, we are the multitaskers. We're the tech experts. You want something technical fixed, call a Virgo, right? So I'm out there on the side of the house, and I just couldn't get, there's all these, weeds and stuff, and I'm like, this is just, I started out April 2020 doing videos in my house. When I was still, up at my house, quarantined with my husband, then husband, not anymore, but we're still friends. We text each other constantly. He's still in my life. Hi there. He's the dad. He's the dad of my 2 great boys. They're great. They're, anyway. Gen Z. So I was quarantined with a whole bunch of them and the dog, who's, Zazoo in the poster, see? This is my book cover. And that dog is Dee Dee in the book, BB. So, beautifully drawn by the very creative Robin Tatwell Ward. She's a children's book illustrator in Australia. She was kind enough to do the cover for me. So now, now that I'm in my own place and, got through that whole messy time when the kids were, around and I was doing videos in the house and I said, well, it was loud, I couldn't concentrate, and so I ended up going out to the woods and that was great, but it just doesn't seem to work anymore. I was out there, I was kind of in the dark, in the cold, in every kind of weather. I've been doing videos. I don't know if anybody's watched them, but there's 4 years of videos on my YouTube channel. So I thought, well, I just have to get it done. I have to do it every week. And it was getting to the point where I didn't feel like I could speak, outside. I was, the elements and things, I said, oh, I need to be heard. Okay, so I just have to get it done. So this video might be a little shorter, but I think the acoustics are great in this empty room because I haven't bought a bed yet. I'm still sleeping on an air mattress, but the thing is that Zazoo, the colors in Zazoo are influencing me as far as the kind of furniture I want to get. I've been sitting on the floor my whole life, right? But in the house where I grew up, my parents had, there was the prickly couch down in the living room that was for, good, for company. It was awful. It was very uncomfortable. And then there was Pepe's chair that you couldn't sit in except when, Pepe was there. That was his chair. And then there was this ugly orange chair, which was okay, but that was usually, I did get to sit in that one, but there was this creepy guy, like a picture of this creepy guy over me. His eyes used to follow me around. So that was kind of a creepy corner. And my parents had a love seat upstairs, but it was only big enough for 2 people, and there were 3 of us. So I usually ended up sitting on the shag rug, just like this, watching TV, and then I'd get up and rake it. So anyway, I digress. But so all of these, I started out with my little stories 4 years ago, or 1 year ago, not knowing, she has been she's been my best friend. Times when there hasn't been anybody around but me and my little stories. Now there's a lot of Gen X stuff out there, but when I started, I was in the wilderness, telling my little stories. And now I kind of feel like other people have responded in kind with their stories, and it's great. So, I just do this every week. I do it. I go outside. I do it inside. I read. I was raised Catholic, so a lot of my story, a lot of my insights, and it's gone beyond just the book. And I can't really explain it in a half-an-hour video, but I found along the way that I have instincts that are, they've helped me in whatever magical kind of way that they come out. And I'm still discovering, how to read them. But, I usually start off bouncing off Bible stories because that's what's meaningful to me. And then I go from there and I bring in some pop culture and, and some astrology, a little bit of everything. So I'm going to see where it takes me, But yeah, Virgo, we like to clean things. We're perfectionists. So this is a generational belt. When you talk about Pluto and Uranus, Neptune, these are generational planets. So they work over a longer period of time than, say, the moon, which is like, you're feeling, it's like in the moment. The moon is now. The moon is, woo, the tides, everything gets influenced by the moon. We feel that most closely because that's the goals, the closest planet to us is the moon and the sun. But, and then Mercury, Venus, Mars, those are our personal planets because we feel those, even Saturn, and then you get to Jupiter and all the other ones. So, so sitting on the floor, it's something I've been doing a lot. I like to stand up when I do my reports, but I guess today I'm sitting. Maybe Zazoo thought I needed a little rest. Not used to the acoustics in this place, oh my God. So the readings today, second Sunday in Lent. Got my laundry rack. Oh, just one little story about this week. Before I get into my Bible story, I made the mistake. I found the laundry place where I am. It kind of felt like I was back in college again, doing my laundry. And BC, we had this place, O'Connell House. It was on a lower campus, this big old house, and you would go down, into the basement of this place, and they had the laundry for all the underclassmen, right? Where I went to college in Boston. And, you put your laundry in, you'd sit around and study, talk to other people, whatever. There's like a stone wall that I used to sit on. And this place has stone walls and down in the basement, just like college. It's like, going back to my old stomping grounds. But I made the mistake of putting my laundry in the dryer, and which I never do, but I put it on really low. I said, it feels like my clothes, they're like all soft and kind of shrinky, and I had been just using a rack, and my college age kid, he puts all his clothes on the rack. He doesn't use the dryer at all because it uses too much, power, and stuff doesn't come out. Anyway, got my laundry rack. So this week I can hang all my stuff up. I got it all set up, and it's even got little sock hooks. I can put my socks on there. So anyway, that's pretty exciting. So anyway, Bibles, second Sunday in Lent. So it's the one. It's that weird one. Oh, I saw my older kid this week. Speaking of Abraham and his son, right? Isaac, and he goes and God says he has to sacrifice his son as a sacrifice. And he goes out there and he's going to do it. And God says, whoa, no, don't do that. I just wanted to see how, committed you were to this whole thing, right? Sometimes we have to really go out on a limb, right? To show God, to show Source, the universe, that we're serious. And that's kind of what I did when if you ask God to, change your life, to, here I am, right? Show me what I'm supposed to be doing. You'll get it, It might not be the way, it's not going to be the primrose path. It's not always going to be the easiest, smoothest, love boat experience, It's not Fantasy Island. It's going to be rocky. Oh, that's interesting, rocky. I mean, turbulent, right? There's going to be patches where you say, what, my phone, I'm standing out here in the dark and my phone doesn't work, so what do? I gotta get this done. So he's out there. God says, no, don't touch that kid. Just here's a ram. So, and I said, that's interesting because the ram is Aries, right? And now we have Chiron, who's the wounded healer, the planet of, healing. The guy who went out, he felt unloved and unwanted by his family. So he went out to a cave, and he decided to just live the quiet life and heal people. He healed himself, but he was still wounded, but he was healed, and from that wounded place, he was able to help. He's a centaur, one of the more tame centaurs that we read about in astrology. But he was able to go and then help other people because he had been through all this dark, place in the soul, dark night of the soul. So Chiron is now in Aries, 17 degrees of Aries, and it's conjunct the north node of the moon, which is like where we're going, right? So it's kind of interesting. We have the reading about the ram. God is for us. Oh, Paul to the Romans, a letter. God is for us, who can be against us, right? And then we have the Transfiguration with in the Gospel of Mark, where Jesus takes his 3 friends out, and they go up to the top of the mountain, and he's dazzling white, and then Simon Peter says, "Oh, we'll build the three tents," and I thought, oh, that's like the Bee Gees, right? The 3. So, yeah, this is him, my beloved son, in whom I favor rest. So, we know that. How did I get on this? How did I get this song? Oh, so I woke up this morning, and I had in my head, as I was making my tea, I had "I Will Survive" by Gloria Gaynor, which was 1979 song, disco song, Gloria Gaynor. So the song "Tragedy" by the Bee Gees, right? So I'm thinking Barry, Morris, and Robin. February 1979, I was 13. And so I said, "Oh, I will survive." And then all of a sudden I hear "Tragedy." And so it turns out, the Bee Gees, February and the first week of March, right, 1979, they knocked Gloria Gaynor. She was surviving, right? Then the Tragedy knocked her out of the #1. For 2 weeks, they were on the Billboard #1. And then she came back. So it's like, we will survive tragedy, right? There's tragedy, there's survival, then tragedy, and then survival again. See? So I thought, oh, that's perfect. If God is for us, who can be against us? In other words, and then there's sacrifice, right? So you make a sacrifice, you feel like it's a tragedy, but that's how you survive, right? In the end, you survive. This might be a little out there, but to me it makes sense. Tragedy was #1 in the UK, February of '79, and in March it came #1 in the US. I have that album that it's from. Apparently, the Bee Gees wrote this. They took an afternoon off from their usual Saturday Night Fever, but they were making it was the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper movie or whatever. They took time off from that, and they wrote in one day, "Too Much Heaven," "Shadow Dancing," and "Tragedy." Tragedy, lose control, you got no soul in tragedy. Okay, I'm not going to sing. But, yeah. They had 5 or 6 consecutive #1s. Tied with Elvis, Bing Crosby, and the Beatles. And then Whitney Houston knocked them out. But, and then the Foo Fighters covered it in 2021 as the DGs. So we will survive, yeah. So, not only survive, but thrive. So, so those are my thoughts for today. saw my oldest kid this week. I went home to grab a pie plate because I'm going to make a quiche tonight. I got feta, I got spinach, some nice roasted red peppers. So I thought I might, do that. And I got to get some pie weights to put in there because I usually use lentils, but they don't work too well. There's all these cool things you can get. Okay, so I saw my kid. So he's down in the basement putting together a Lego model of the Museum of Natural History. Like Night of the Museum. So yeah, he kind of looks at, oh, hi, Mom. As if I hadn't just seen him, not seen him for the longest time. He's just like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. So yeah, anyway, so I'm thinking, I'm trying to pick out a couch. Now back to the couch thing. I'm thinking I've got to go against what I normally would do because I'm thinking, my whole life it's like I've had black dogs, black cats. The last time I actually picked out a couch was in the late 80s when I bought my condo. And it was like a white background, but it had huge turquoise flowers and pink flowers and orange flowers. I thought, those are all the Zazoo colors, The turquoise, goodness. You got the turquoise here and the pink, and the so I'm like, ooh. So I found this cool bohemian rug on Amazon. I said, they got all the Zazoo colors. And I'm like, ooh, you can't find a couch like that anywhere anymore. In the late 80s, everything was like, it was tacky. But I love that couch. And I got a dining set that had padded white, cushions on it, and it was wood. And I'm like, so I go and I see they have a dining set with a round table, although I like the rectangular table better because I can put all my stuff. I need room to spread out, but they're turquoise cushions and orange. I'm like, I could get a white couch because I don't have a black dog anymore, and I don't have boys anymore coming and putting all their, so I could actually get an off-white couch if I wanted. I have no idea what to do with it. But I'm slowly, I'm getting things. I'm figuring out, what do I do without a black dog, without, these messy kids, without, what do I like? Zazoo Plazz. I like Zazoo Plazz. I'm so used to, sort of, clumping around in the mud out in the bogs. I have to get back to what brings me joy. What do I want to create now? This is a good opportunity, celebrating the first birthday of my friend here, who's been by my side. She's been with me. I took her on all kinds of trips. I always bring a copy of Zazoo with me, and I always end up giving it away to somebody who needs it. Whether I was in Arizona, went out to Tucson, I stayed in a with a bunch of ladies out there. It was kind of like a little retreat party thing. And I ended up giving my book to the woman whose house it was, She was interested, so she's a mom and all that kind of stuff, career woman and everything. So I gave her a copy, and she gave me a book. So, yeah, so, maybe I'll tell that story in the next book, because now seems like a good time to continue Zazoo's adventures, because I have stuff to share, and maybe I'm not supposed to go and, hide anymore. Maybe now's the time for us, Gen Xers, to kind of speak out. because it doesn't feel right to me to go and hide anymore. You know, I don't feel like I have to hide anymore. I've got things to say. I'm going to say them. So I hope that you find what I say entertaining and useful and relevant. And or if you just want to find out what Gen X is like, the real Gen X, not the one that people like to say that we are. Sometimes when you don't speak up for yourself, people will put all kinds of things into you, ideas on you. They will project on you what they think you should be or what they think you are. So that's why it's so important to speak our truth so that people, my truth in this moment. It's going to change, but we can only speak our truth that we have experienced up until this moment. And that's going to change. My truth when I was in my 20s is different from today. So there's no absolute truth. There's just, my evolving truth as it goes along. So, yeah. So hopefully you can glean something from my observations. And as I go along, I'll, decorate a little bit more and share with you my adventures, my audacious adventures. Me and Zazoo. So until next week, happy birthday, Zazoo. And I'll be back next week to share some more updates and insights and audacious adventures. And who knows, I might be back outside next week. We'll see. But take care. And it's leap week. Go do something, even if it's just crazy out there, not too crazy, but you know what I mean. Take a day, take a leap day, make a leap of some kind. I mean, not literally, but a figurative leap of faith. Do something that is totally different, that, go somewhere, speak your truth. Start writing your stories. Start something. Start a creative project. And in 4 years, you can reflect back on, your leap day project. It's a painting or, a vision of some kind, a dream. Make it happen. It's the Fool, right? The Fool tarot card, that's me. Today my card is the Fool. So, with the dog. Anyway, so, do something just a little foolish, like not, harmful to anyone, but, quirky, kind of fun, that won't, what I mean. Don't do anything stupid, but just fool around and find out. Till next week, Zazoo. Signing out. Take care. Bye-bye.